The 4-2-3-1 YouTube, I like to call it your absolute bread and butter formation. Probably the most balanced and well-rounded formation on EAFC 24 and has been on FIFA for many a years. But before we get into the custom tactics YouTube, please drop this video a like for me, drop a comment down below, and if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel. And also I want to say Merry Christmas to you. I hope you do have a good Christmas. So without any further ado, let's get into the custom tactics.
For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy your FC24 coins, check out mmoexp.com. Link is down in the description below. Use the code WOLF at the checkout for 5% off your order.
Balanced on the defensive style definitely is the way to go in the 4-2-3-1. Like I've said in a lot of my recent videos, I really did like pressure on heavy touch up until the latest patch. I really feel like EA have nerfed pressure on heavy touch into the ground on this latest patch. It drains your stamina way too much for my liking, and I just feel like in general it just doesn't hit the same as it used to, because I'm telling you now, I was really getting on board with the pressure on heavy touch before this latest patch dropped. I'm telling you, I was using it a lot and experimenting with it a lot, and I was this close from dropping a custom tactics video on it. But then they dropped the latest patch and it's shit. So because of that, I am now using balanced on the defensive style. Definitely the way to go, YouTube. I just like to be in control of where and when my team presses the ball. And if you actually read what the balanced thing says, a balanced style where your team presses the ball to the middle of the pitch and your team shape is neutral. That is an amazing thing to have, because then you're in control. You then can't blame the game or the AI if they randomly press it. You're like, well, I wasn't expecting that, you know. So balanced is the way to go on the defensive style. The defensive width, I have made it a little bit more narrow, but not as narrow as sometimes I like to do it. So basically, I have gone down to 45 on the defensive width. Now, if any of you don't know what this latest patch has done, it is making our defensive structure be forced out wide a little bit. I think EA did this to try and stop the byline meta and from stopping your opponents just constantly switching the play, because we all know how annoying that was to play against. So I think that's why EA have done that, to make your defensive structure play out wide. But I don't want that, YouTube. I don't know whether any of you agree. I don't want that. So I've gone a little bit more narrow to make our team nice and compact in the middle of the pitch. But at the same time, it's why I have only gone to 45 width. I don't want my team to be completely camped in my box, you know. I don't want them to be completely like that, because that then gives my opponent the opportunity to use and abuse the byline meta. I'm not interested in that. So that's why I think the 45 width is a really good happy medium G spot. You're nice and narrow and compact, but also at the same time, you're not too narrow, so you can still stop the switches of play from the left and the right and the byline meta. The defensive depth, you're going to be shocked with this. I've actually gone back to my tried and trusted bread and butter. I've gone up to 60 depth, yes. Now, if any of you don't know what I'm talking about with my bread and butter depth, I used to always use 60 depth on the 4-2-3-1. On the latest patch now, I have now stopped using it, but over the last few days, having experimented with it again, it's back. The 60 depth is well and truly back. Basically, the reason I use 60 on the 4-2-3-1, we have two CDMs rather than two central midfielders. So, for example, if we were defending in a 4-4-2 or a formation of that ilk, I would make the defensive depth a little bit less, because we don't have the two CDMs. But with the 4-2-3-1, because we actually have two CDMs in that defensive structure with our team, we can afford to be a little bit more aggressive with our defensive depth and try and squeeze our opponent a little bit more. The two CDMs just provide us that defensive security, which is very much needed, in my humble opinion, of course. The offense is build-up play and chance creation. Before I even tell you what it is, let me know in the comment section. Look me in the eyes right now. What do you think I'm going to tell you to use on the build-up play and chance creation? 3, 2, 1. You've had your time. Balanced and direct passing, of course, your absolute bread and butter. I'll tell you what, after this, I'm going to have to make myself some toast. I'm talking about bread that much. But anyway, balanced and direct passing, I absolutely love it. If you actually read what direct passing does, this is why it is such a key and underrated aspect. Once the team enters the attacking zone with possession, players will create chances by making runs for passes into space behind the opposing back line. Strikers who are fast with a good attacking positioning attribute are the best at this tactic. It just means that our team makes a lot of runs in behind, and the key thing with that is, even if we don't then play the ball to our forward players as they're making runs in behind, that does then create a lot of space for other players to pick up on. It's very key, and honestly, just use it. It is so good. Offensive width, pretty boring, YouTube. I'm sorry, I actually just leave it on 50 in the 4-2-3-1. I know, very boring. I just like where my lamb and my ram are anyway. I don't really feel the need to change that at this moment in time. I like it that they're not hugging the touchline, but they're also not on top of my CDMs. I like that. So because of that, I just leave it on 50. It works, YouTube. Sorry to be boring, but it does. Players in the box, though, is 7. What I'm going to tell you right now, you've probably heard a million times, but the more players that we have in the box, the more likely we are to score a goal. It is very, very, very simple and very easy to break down when you look at it like that. My spreadsheet and my data that I use my custom tactics on, it works. It backs it up. We have more XG. We have less XG against us. We score more from XG as well. So it just works. 2 corners and 2 free kicks like so. Custom tactics done. Let's get into the player instructions. Striker is probably the most important player on the 4-2-3-1, if not the middle cam. I think a lot actually depends on your striker. If your striker is good, you will have a lot of success with the 4-2-3-1. So, player instructions that I have on my striker haven't actually changed at all on all of EAFC 24. You're probably going to guess what they're on. Stay central and get in behind. I was actually experimenting with aggressive interceptions to try and put the squeeze on, and I like it. Something that I've never really done before, and it's something that I'm going to do a lot more experimenting with over the next few days, and maybe something that you will see come in a lot of my different formations maybe. Because I'm telling you now, when I was using aggressive interceptions, I liked it, but I just haven't done enough research and enough testing on it to tell you to use it yet. But maybe use it and see if you like it. I liked it, but like I said, more testing and time needs to go into that before I tell you to definitely use it. But the things to definitely use, stay central and get in behind. I want my striker to be in that central area of the pitch, and I also want him to make runs in behind, because even if we don't play the ball to our striker as he is making runs in behind, it does create a nice bit of space for our central cam to operate in. And that then brings us nicely onto the central cam actually. Now this, apart from the striker, this is at least the second most important player in the team, if not the most important player. I think they're both 50-50 in importance ranking. The middle cam, everything really does go through that cam, whether it be goals, whether it be assists, just absolutely everything goes through him. So because of that, I only have my cam on getting to the box across. I don't have him on come back on defense or stay forward or free roam or anything like that. I actually was experimenting having him on free roam at the moment. I didn't like it. I just preferred having my cam in that middle cam position. The getting to the box for cross, so important. I want my cam to be in the box for cross. I want him to create goal scoring opportunities. I want him to get assists and get goals. And the only way we can do that is if my cam is on getting to the box for cross. Pretty simple when you think of it like that. My left-sided cam and my right-sided cam are on exactly the same thing. So come back on defense and get into the box for cross. That is what my left-sided cam and my right-sided cam on. The comeback on defense, I want them to tuck nicely in next to my left-sided CDM and my right-sided CDM, making us a little bit more defensively solid. They get into the box for cross. Again, you know what I'm about to say, YouTube. I want my cams to be getting into the box for cross, because if they're not, they won't be creating goal scoring opportunities. Like I always say in all of my custom tactics videos, YouTube, I'm not bullshitting you when I say this. I want them getting into the box for cross, because if they're not, I just feel like they're not creating anything. And when they're in the box for goal scoring opportunities. It's pretty simple when you think about it. Now, the more defensive-minded CDM, so for me, my Yaya Toure, it doesn't matter whether that is the left-sided CDM and your right-sided CDM. For me, my Yaya Toure is just my right-sided CDM, because my Hadji is left-footed, so I want him on the left-hand side. Have that CDM on just cover centre. So that the more defensive-minded CDM for me, my Yaya Toure, is on balanced defence, balanced attack, and stick to position and cover centre and normal interceptions. That means he will get forward a little bit, but he won't be right up next to the striker or anything like that. He will push forward a little bit and just, you know, like give a little bit of offensive support. He won't go any further forward than kind of like that cam line. If you look from where the 3 cams are, that's where that right CDM will go. Then the more attack-minded CDM, so for me, my left-sided CDM, because my Hadji is left-footed, have that CDM on get forward and cover centre. So that left-sided CDM will really get forward and try and create goal scoring opportunities, get into the box for cross, all of that good stuff. I really like that. The 4-2-3-1 is an elite formation defensively. We need to get it right going forward. So because of that, having that left-sided CDM on get forward, or the more attack-minded CDM on get forward, really does help with the attacking side of the game in the 4-2-3-1. Last but not least, I do not attack with my left back and right back, YouTube. So my left back and right back are on stay back while attacking. I don't attack with them. I want my back 4 to be an actual traditional back 4. Both my centre backs are also on stay back while attacking. And then my goalkeeper is on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there is my brand new updated 4-2-3-1 custom tactics for you. If you did enjoy this video, YouTube, please drop it a like for me, drop a comment down below, and if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel, that would mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. Remember, whatever you are doing on Christmas Day, I hope you have a lovely Christmas, whether it's with your family, etc. Have a lovely Christmas. PMA positive mental attitude. Peace out. One love.